All right, it is finally time. Open division action about to be underway. I am Altcharge, joined by Altruism for the first time in a long time, but we are familiar with this team and AdFriend and could not be more excited for this EMEA matchup here. This is round three of the winners bracket. And Altruism, we've got some stories here. There's a little bit of transactions that have gone on between these teams. Tell us about that.
Oh man, I'm excited. This is my first cast of the 2022 season here in the Open Division. AdFriend is a team that I recognize. I first started to see these guys showing off last year, and a couple of names stood out at that stage. Medato on his famous Torbjorn, now out of the AdFriend roster. And then, of course, the very interesting transition of both Will and Ludwig dropping from AdFriend and going to their rivals for the day, Team Reality. So it's going to be interesting to see how much animosity is left over, if it was a clean break, or just maybe if there's some insider knowledge in both of the teams.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch up how Will is going to pair off against his former roster. He is going to be the flex DPS for Team Reality, and he was a showstopper when we were casting him back in the Will English Invitational. Plays great Echo and Hanzo, so I'm looking for Will to pop off. He knows how his old squad is going to play, so he's got a good scouting report on them. This is probably the game to watch in round three of winners bracket, and we can pretty much get right underway. It's going to be a best of five starting on Control, and we're going to Nepal first. If you had to guess, just to theory craft some compositions, what do you think could be working well here? Personally, I think a Wrecking Ball comp works very well at the high level, but there's room for a lot of different answers here.
It's going to be fascinating to see. Teams are still kind of like lingering in the Overwatch 1 metas, but there's been a lot of exposure to Overwatch 2, what people are going to become. There might be some lingering, resulting in the tanks not being completely comfortable with playing two tanks again and then maybe wanting to do everything themselves. But if these teams are so experienced, especially like AdFriend is a team that we have gotten to see a lot. We've gotten to see a lot from AdFriend. Team Reality made up now of obviously experienced people coming into it. And so there's going to be some predetermined ideas. And I think one of the big ones on the poll is control the space. Like you say, something like a Wrecking Ball, really good to cause consternation, stop the other team from controlling space, while you may be set up with a Rhine on the Shrine or something like that. Maybe in a Risa when you get to the big open kill boxes on the Sanctum. Just controlling the space allows your very talented DPSs to do what they want to.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and Wrecking Ball is a great engagement tool for these flex DPS that like to play those mobile heroes that can get in and out very quick. If you're playing a sniper or something like that, it's a little more difficult to get that value there, but of course, Overwatch is actually in one of those great states of the game where multiple tank compositions can be picked. We've seen teams run the gauntlet and just succeed in tournaments, just running only double shield. We've seen rush down work as well. There's a new composition called Six Man. Don't know if you're familiar, but it has a Winston, a Reaper, and a Sombra with Lucio Moira, and it is just like a rush down comp with a little extra oomph to it. Very fun to watch. Hope we get to see it today. But it sounds like in the headphones, Nepal is about to be underway, so we should have our compositions completely crafted in just a moment. In Altruism, we are gonna have a game on our hands. I think this is fantastic how we get to see a little bit of a rivalry between Ludwig, as they get into the action here on Nepal. And there we have our compositions, but clearly still playing around for the next 17 seconds.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to walk out with these sort of things. Maybe Team Reality has some designated strategy in their mind with that, but AdFriend is going to lean into the chaos if that's what really comes out. And like you say, Overwatch in a great state right now where so many different options are viable, and it seems AdFriend locked in, going to be looking for some sort of cheeky individualistic plays. Going to have Jix out on the Pharaoh, of course, backed up by Padre on the Mercy. Jock going to be looking to reinforce the very aggressive tanks of Roadhog and Sigma coming out from ADM and FIFO. And then, of course, Lucian looking for those picks of opportunity on a Hanzo. Could be fun to pepper down people from range.
Could be. A lot of sightlines to play. Sim TP goes in, and a good boop there from Jix. Almost concussion blasts off a couple opposition of Team Reality, but it will be Team Reality coming up with the first two picks of this first fight as we are officially underway in the action in map number one. It has been AdFriend with that opening capture, but Team Reality with a teleporter that no one on AdFriend was expecting, and they will reclaim point one.
Yeah, Team Reality just moving so well as a team right now, using that Mei to control space. And while they had some flex away as Adfriend got very aggressive on that first push, Team Reality very content to just play around where they want to. They're still not really getting threatened at this stage, and Adfriend now has to do all the work to try and manufacture some sort of angle with their poke and prod lineup.
And that is what Jix can be so good at here, playing close to this wall alongside their support in Padre, helping them out with the pocket there. But you can see just opening up that second angle, but Team Reality not afraid to rotate early, gets right into the mix here. And who is it going to be with the first ultimate? It will be Jix from above, but gunned down by the Baptiste and Roblox Lover. And two trades back and forth. We've got a 4 versus 4 in this fight. No one really has a clear advantage, but the Diva desuited by Luciano Fan, and that could be the opening for Adfriend.
Yeah, this is the thing. Team Reality relies on controlling space. They use the Mei wall. They got to freeze up now, but Mei has pretty much used all of her kits. Their wall going to go down, and the Adfriend lineup just collapsing on top of them at the end of the day. Reality is great when they can hold their position, but as soon as Adfriend gets a bit of an advantage, they can shut out the team fight quite quickly.
And they are very happy with that retake there. That fight was going back and forth, but it was one they really needed to come out on top of. If they didn't, alt economy would have been lacking, and Team Reality could have found themselves on final fight if they're able to stall this one out with the ultimates they've currently got. But now they head straight to point. They pop that sim wall from effort. They've got more to burn here, but right now they're just trying to lock it down as Jix is nano. There's damage to be withstanded. Jix coming in on the other side of the shield, only able to take out that immortality field. The flux here from Adam doesn't find any elims, but does a massive amount of damage. Adfriend trying to burst back into this point, but Team Reality currently still holding.
Man, that just looked like a desperate throw of everything we've got from Adfriend right now. Team Reality managing to get up that symmetrical wall was able to mitigate all that pressure instantly. It forced Adfriend to get up close and personal and try and shut it down through pure force of will. And still, Team Reality has so much left in the tank. They had Will's freeze the entire duration of that last fight, didn't need to push it. Now just using this amplification matrix to be able to try and pepper down people from a distance, and the Earth Shatter comes out, able to push Adfriend back constantly. Overtime ticking down. Can anyone contest? They do manage to get someone on here. The beat comes out there from Team Reality. Lucio being able to support the whole team through any desperate attempts of Adfriend. Adfriend still contesting, managing to get some picks using the Hanzo, nearly up to his Dragon Strike, but still the control is there from Team Reality, and they will secure the first point.
It was going to take a hero play from Adfriend. Luciano Fan got one pick there, which made a little bit of a window for Adfriend to maybe go back into that final fight. But Team Reality, good job there playing their space. Like you were saying in our pregame, that's when it's so important, right on these control maps, especially that one in Sanctum, where it is so hard to just navigate the map and get onto the point without getting booped into the pit or the abyss. We've seen Roadhogs, we've seen Pharos, so that CC is out there. Sanctum was looking dangerous, but now we've got a different look. This time, I do believe we're going over to Village, or hard to tell from this angle. Could totally be Shrine.
I think this is Shrine. So we're going to be going out against now almost the inverse of what happened previously. Last time there was a definite low ground kill box where whoever wanted to hold the point definitely was at a disadvantage. In reality, lent into that. They used their shields. They used something like a Symmetra to fortify their position, make it very difficult for Adfriend, who were very content to sit on the outskirts and try poke and prod, get the hooks, get the Sigma ult into the front lines to initiate when they need to. And it seems like Adfriend going for a similar sort of poke and prod lineup here, going with the Doomfist to try and go into the backline. Team Reality going for a very dispersive comp though, highly mobile, look to pick down someone and chew through them quickly, flex around as Adfriend pokes and prods, and so not a lot of shields though to block out the potential for the Roadhog hooks as we're seeing right now. Still, Reality doing a great job with their tanks being mobile and shutting down any of the dive attempts from Adfriend. Adfriend though managing to get this healing from the Baptiste, has got his ultimate up, so does Padre for the sound barrier. Gonna use that to try and reinforce if they get pressured back, but so far it looks like they're able to capture this point.
And it was hard to do that too. Will was getting hacks onto the main tank and Adam all throughout that engagement, and it was just great support there from Jark, from Padre to keep that team alive without a barrier, especially when Team Reality, like you were saying, running this incredibly mobile comp. This is a variation of that 6-man comp we were talking about, except Effort going to be on the Tracer opposed to the Reaper, but still, they can just pounce on those hack targets there. They got the first capture, got 28% or so, but then just couldn't quite finish off Adfriend in that fight. Now going back in with some alt economy, sound barrier popped by Padre, and the Deadeye from Luciano Fan. Enough to take down Roblox Lover, and that should be Adfriend solidly winning this second engagement here and finally getting up ahead in terms of percentages.
Man, that's actually huge. Considering Team Reality's team comp makes re-engaging so easy, they just have to get onto a weird flank, get a decent hack target, pick off anyone who's not paying attention, and sticking with the team to start off a team fight. Adfriend was able to just get back, use that Cassidy ult to zone out their entire area, and be able to control that and counter out the push coming in from Team Reality. Now Reality doesn't have a lot of ultimates. They're going to drop the sound barrier to start off with, and the wall comes out from Will to try and separate off this team fight, even going in with the Doomfist ultimate. FIFO getting some great picks on his side, and between this, Adfriend's DPS looks like they're doing a huge amount to control space and kill important targets.
Yeah, Team Reality, they switched compositions prior to that fight, so they were just running an economy fight there. Not too battered and bruised or banged up by just losing that fight. Not when they were trying to invest in. They chose this composition for this upcoming fight. They did a good job there, stunning out Adam's Earthshatter. That made it so Adfriend had to invest more ultimates prior to their opening engagement. That means they don't have much going up in this fight, and it's a relatively even battle on our hands, but as time continues to tick away, with every second the pressure mounts, Effort gets that opening pick off onto Adam, and with no main tank, Adfriend is left a little weak, I would say. Effort continues to come in, but the Cassidy duel there, won by Luciano Fan. Unable to do more, though, as Will puts the ice to him.
Okay, well, this is big. Adfriend already managed to get to that overtime. Team Reality still has a large percentage to try and build at this stage. So Adfriend gonna have a fight or two right now. They've got a little bit in the tank. They've got the sound barrier if they want to, but that may be just to reinforce a couple of early pick opportunities that they want that they might be able to get. Team Reality, on the other hand, starting to build up to a couple of very big ultimates. They got the Blizzard on Will. They got the Earthshatter very close right now. Cassidy even only 10% away from his ult. And so poking and prodding against Team Reality is just going to build up the final little bit of their ult right now. Maybe just Adfriend wanting to dive in early and force something out here from Team Reality.
Oh, certainly. This fight is about to pop off here. We're already seeing one Ant Matrix used to just try and keep Adfriend at bay with sheer damage. Blizzard here gets tossed in by Will, and the Deadeye connects onto Adam, but that hook lands. And now Effort is no longer. Trades going back and forth like crazy, but currently it looks like Team Reality coming out on top, and they need to lock down this fight. They are in dire straits as Adfriend sits at 99%, and Team Reality has bought themselves another fight here.
You know, again, Team Reality used every single one of their ultimates. They're building up to the self-destruct and the sound barrier now, but Adfriend maybe spent a couple too many of their own. If they were planning to just use that fight to reset Team Reality, bait out all the resources, that was not the way to do it. Going in with everything you've got. Now Reality going to be dropping the sound barrier at the beginning, has built up the self-destruct to try and clear this point at the end, and Adfriend is taking casualties.
Oh, and Team Reality doing a great job of just displacing Adfriend, but a couple of hero plays by Jix, by FIFO. They're trying to get this team back into this fight. Jix finds another one. Adfriend is not done yet. They get the flip. That was a miraculous attacking effort they've got there, but Team Reality still on the doorstep, coming in with some main taking pressure, but the hook lands. Oh, Alba, no longer for this world. Now it could be the tank players for Adfriend clutching up this round. The Shatter connects. They've done it. Adfriend able to miraculously tie up this series as overtime ticks. I don't believe Team Reality has a chance, and we are knotted.
Okay, well, there came down a very big difference. The fact that Adfriend was able to delay how long it took for them to die meant that you got that reinforcement. If those main tanks, or at least the Reinhardt didn't get back when he did, that Roadhog who was left alone on the point, had used the take a breather, was going to get chewed down quickly, manages to even get the pick on the Lucio, get separated, and Reinhardt comes to reinforce. Beautiful way for Adfriend to retake that fight. And a diminishing amount of resources that was eventually being able to be bolstered like that, turn it around, and it was that difference. Team Reality used all of their ultimates 2 fights before. Adfriend was just a little bit closer to some of the big ones, and then was able to take the fight basically in round number 3, I guess.
Yeah, and that's how you have to play here in the Open Division winners bracket. You just cannot give up in a fight, and you can't count your opponent out. Right there, it certainly looked like Team Reality had that last objective in the bag, but AdFriend, they got those tanks back, like you were saying, Altruism, and they just never said die in that fight. They were like, all right, we only have 3 members, but that's enough to win a fight against a very good opponent. They made all the clutch plays, and they're rocking a Roadhog, not something we see much, but FIFO, it's really paying off for that player. Team Reality here opening up things, but it will be FIFO landing the hook again. Will, you do not want to lose your May on the Paul Village. That just takes away so much of your CC. FIFO, again, these chain hooks are going crazy.
Man, Team Reality having very clear game plans, sits in the corner, waits for the Sim TP to get to point, but AdFriend just lets them have it. They've swapped to a much more, we're going to stand back and let you do whatever shenanigans you want over there. We've got an Orisa shield, we've got Jock on the Zenyatta who's able to poke and prod from huge distances. FIFO go have some freedom and some space to get some weird hooks, and he manages to do it. As soon as Team Reality pushes in, they get picked from off angles. AdFriend controlling the space, and now it's going to be difficult for Team Reality to play a cheeky, sneaky play into the backlines.
Yeah, they do have the Symmetra, so they can kind of carve up this point like we see a lot of Overwatch League teams doing, but early Ant Matrix here catches him on the high ground. Reality already losing Alba here, but Adam fell to the low ground and taken down by a headshot from Will. The Icicle lands there, and now Effort just trying to wait for that TP to come back online so they can, of course, carve up this point. But in the 5v5, looks like AdFriend might concede here, but no ultimate start coming in. The Dragon Strike burned here by Jix. Enough to find the pick onto Ludwig. And Reality now looking worse for where they're on the back foot in this fight, but they have no choice. They've got to hold the ground here on the objective. They're currently holding it, but it is going to be dicey, Altruism.
Man, every time it seems like Team Reality making an offensive play, getting into somewhere that they can fortify, it almost seems like AdFriend is content to let them have that position. They send through the Dragon Strike at the beginning, now managing to chew through it. Team Reality reinforcing with the Symmetra ultimate does help out a lot. Still, it's going to be broken down or charged through at least by FIFO on this Roadhog. Going to get the hook at the end there. Adam reinforcing onto this main tank line here. And AdFriend do manage to turn it around. Lade's reinforcements trying to stall it out a little bit, but it has turned over, and about 55% for both teams. It's still anyone's game.
And I'm surprised to see Team Reality not quite giving up in this engagement yet. AdFriend has ults to burn to just make it so Team Reality engaging again would just be a complete waste of time for them. They don't have the ultimates to burn right now, and AdFriend, they're sitting with a lot of advantages, and they hop right back up onto the high ground. It is going to take a massive effort from Reality to get this objective back.
Dragon Strike just waiting for them to commit to a point now, and sees the wall go up and knows that there's a Reality squad waiting on the inside. Chews through the Reinhardt to start off the fight. Even the amplification matrix now being fled away. Will tries to shut off the main tank with the ice wall, but eventually goes down. Just no damage to follow through there. Team Reality running for the hills, and AdFriend overwhelm them instantly.
Yeah, no damage. Exactly. That is the story of this round for Team Reality. AdFriend with the Hanzo, the Cole Cassidy, Adam throwing down that supercharger, and of course, FIFO going like 7 for 7 on his hooks right now. And the Discord, AdFriend has all the damage under the sun right now, and Reality is having such a difficult time navigating around it.
Yeah, and you can see it. They realize we can't take this face-to-face fight anymore, and has swapped now to double DPS changes. The Sombra and the Tracer coming out here. Here comes the Earthshatter around the back, though. We do see Raggedberry swinging away. Doesn't manage to pick up any kills with it just yet. Now going to hold it. High Noon comes out there. Cassidy looking on the background. It is going to be Luciano Fam not managing to pick up anything. Effort poking and prodding with the Tracer. FIFO always ready to rush forward, though. Uses that Orisa shield. Hits another hook to be able to close out this point, and it seems like Team Reality going to give it away on the 99%. They're going to have to pull off something miraculous here, and their resources are diminishing. Their time is running out. That overtime ticks down. AdFriend, take our first map.
And they come back after being down 1-2. And Altruism, I think we've got our first nickname of Open Division. It's going to be Final Boss FIFO, the Roadhog Menace for Ad Friend, the difference maker, especially on round 3. But it will be Adam with a nice little play of the game here. Does get Maywalled off, but plays with so much confidence on the Orisa. Perfect shield there to make sure that no damage gets done onto him. And Ad Friend played that Orisa Roadhog composition so beautifully, and that's something that we haven't really seen in Overwatch for some time. About over a year was the last time when Alt Hook was really in the meta, but Ad Friend, they're coming to play with it.
Yeah, it almost seemed to be as effective as a really good Widowmaker or something like that. Being able to get into a random place or charge forward when you need to, assert some dominance on a point, especially when you're dealing with something like a May or a Symmetra, where that charge forward needs to come at the right time. You need to already have an advantage before you engage the fight. And so having a hook to stand at a distance, get someone who's trying to just fortify a position out of place, fantastic. You can fight on your own terms, and that's kind of what it felt like for Ad Friend. You always say, you know, you got to fight your fight. You can't play into your opponent's game style. It seemed like Ad Friend was very content to just sit back and go, you can play your game style. You can try and play your game style. We're just going to sit out here and go fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Ad Friend, they're not running compositions we're familiar with. That kind of says that Team Reality, we did say that they have a little bit of insight on this team, of course, with Will and Ludwig being former players for Ad Friend, but there's not really much you can do to practice in scrims when someone's going to run Orisa Roadhog, because that's just not what teams are doing. Team Reality is running all the compositions I expect to see at this level. Play like a 6-man with a Tracer, adding a little bit more of a skill floor to that already very good composition. But Ad Friend, they're just like, yeah, we're going to hit hooks and we're just going to delete your squishies. It's going to be a really rough time for you, but I mean, we're going to be going over to Escort next. It's going to be the loser pick. So Team Reality gets to pick the map here, and Ad Friend will get to pick their side, attack, or defense. I would say anything but Route 66 is good. If we head to Route 66, FIFO is going to be on Roadhog again, and it is going to be a terror.
Well, this is the big thing, right? Ad Friend is playing this very pick-off-heavy lineup. They've got both the Hanzo and the Roadhog are basically, if you show yourself for a quarter of a second, you're dead on half the characters kind of thing. And so you got to fortify that. You got to be aware that that's how Ad Friend is bringing the fight to you right now. You've either got to get enough shields and other protection around you, body blocks, even with something like a Diva, someone to threaten these pick characters when they try and flank you around a certain corner. You either need to protect your squishies with some sort of shielding or something like that, or you need to change off and actually take the fight into their face. You don't want to let these guys sit at distance, poke and prod, and determine when they want to take the fights. You may have to take that into your own initiative, and it depends on how Team Reality want to react to that to determine exactly which map they're going to go for and what comp they're going to try and run on it. Do they try and brute force the same thing again, or do they change it up into a bit of a Route 66 special or something like that?
Yeah, it does seem like we're going to be going over to Rialto, which I think is a pretty good pick for Team Reality.
Okay.
It's a much more straightforward payload map. There's not all these flanks that, you know, a Roadhog could go on, but it does seem like FIFO is playing in the center of their team. And what I've noticed about both of these squads is Team Reality playing that mobile composition. That's a composition that shines in open space. And Ad Friend, they're playing a composition, although it's very wonky, if they're hitting those skill shots like Cole Cassidy headshots or Roadhog hooks, that is a team that is such a threat to anyone trying to play in open space. So it's a very good duality of compositions we've seen so far. Very excited to see how it goes forward on Escort.
You know, when I think of how Ad Friend just played that, even just if they mirrored the composition that they used on the final point of Nepal, you're going something like an Orisa and a Roadhog. There is a lot of open space and a lot of very dangerous water on Rialto, and I'm starting to go, oh no, how many environmental kills could Ad Friend start linking up? And considering this isn't even their map pick, maybe they're just going to take opportunities like that for it. There's also a lot of very enclosed spaces, lots of corners to poke and prod out of, and so Ad Friend could be using that to their advantage. I'm interested to see exactly what Team Reality is planning, because this is their map pick. This is where they want to play. And an Echo, a Tracer, and a Wrecking Ball to come out there, and then a reinforced backline. They want to poke and prod themselves, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like they have a composition very well set up for this map, but honestly, Ad Friend, they're running the double sniper with a Roadhog here. They've still got the Zenyatta. First point here on Rialto is all about these sightlines. They're very straight. The chokeways are very narrow. Not a ton of flanking opportunities to take, but We'll see just how Team Reality is able to navigate this map. I don't think it's going to be very easy for them, but I do think being their map pick, they've got a game plan that we're not quite sure of just yet. And already taking a very wide rotation, trying to stay away from the damage from AdFriend. But nope, not for long. Luciano fan dinks Roblox lover. That Zenyatta for Team Reality sent back to spawn early.
Yeah, this is terrifying. I mean, there was already a lot of pressure coming out there from Luciano fan on his Cassidy last time. Jix was doing well on the Hanzo, and now you've got even more pick opportunity. It really is if you stick your head out at any stage. And with Ludwig, I mean, I would say Sigma is one of the smallest barriers in the game. You've got a lot of space to poke your head out when you're wrong, and he does it again.
Oh, a lot of space indeed, but Effort doing a great job there, collapsing onto the booped up member, the Widowmaker Luciano fan, just sent into the skies by Raging Barry, and we can see Team Reality doing a good job making space here for those DPS to go in and collapse on these kills. Ludwig doing all in his power to hold this front line down, but it will be Jix popping off the third kill of the fight. Jix, the one-man show here. But it is Team Reality still trading out, but Jix with one hell of an effort there, just clawing AdFriend back into this fight. They could have it now, Altruism. They are making a stand.
Okay, that was huge. The whole point of FIFO is he's supposed to stand on the payload and just give space to someone like Jix to poke and prod and get their headshots. I mean, even managing to get that quick one on the Tracer was fantastic. Adam's now going to have a lot of work to do to fill that role until FIFO can come back. They can't really contest the payload in this open space and don't really want to. The shot from Luciano comes through, and this is what AdFriend looks. Instantly, they move forward. They get themselves into an aggressive position to stop the movement of the payload and get themselves all the sightlines they could want. Jigs with the sonic arrow basically shuts off one doorway, and no one from Team Reality even wants to poke their head out right now.
Knowing what AdFriend is doing with these snipers too, they're playing them on the low ground. A lot of players would expect them to be perched up in that crow's nest behind to the right of Jix right now, up on the high ground, but that's actually where both of them can retreat to if ever that dive comes in, so they're always playing with an escape in mind. Currently, it's Jark up there right now, but had to hop down here as Will comes in with the copy onto the Roadhog, but wood chippered away by FIFO, popping the whole hog of his own and just battering Team Reality back. Team Reality have a difficult time pushing into the damage that AdFriend is bringing to this lobby.
Yeah, AdFriend just stands in their position. They go, this is where we want to play. Wait for Team Reality to charge forward. Still this flanking little Zenyatta, a Roblox lover in the background doing some work. Doesn't really have too much impact on the point, unfortunately. So Qplay gonna try one more time to pink out someone. Even drops the Transcendence here to try to force this through. He's got a bit of a raid boss behind him. No, the Orisa and the Baptiste get taken down at the same time through the Transcendence. Just a burst damage from AdFriend coming out. There is a chance here. Team Reality taking control of the points.
Yeah, and with plenty of time, they've got over 3 minutes, and Roblox Lover with a very sneaky play. A lot of spectators probably really counted out the Zenyatta in the backline all alone, but that is an Art of War style bait right there. Popping the Transcendence, sucking all the members of AdFriend onto one kill. And then we just had Raging Barry coming with that minefield, and everyone was so grouped up for it. So much damage able to be done so quickly. And with the Transcendence, Team Reality not going anywhere in that fight. They're able to sneak away that first objective, but it took a crafty, very well thought out play. I'm not sure how many of those they can come up with against such a good team.
Oh, and now AdFriend's got a very difficult job of trying to hold the top of the staircase. They don't have any frontline brawling tanks that would like to just be able to stand at that doorway. Instead, Team Reality come forward as a unit and push out there. Everyone picking up kills here. Will on the back line, showing his old teammate what it means and gonna finish off with that finishing beam. In fact, Adam gonna go down. And Team Reality seem to have all the momentum right now.
Yeah, that's a very good sign for them, too. That was a much less crafty attacking effort there. Just brute force, winning in the mid-fight, proving that they can take it to AdFriend. That's a very good sign for Team Reality to see at this point. Got a couple ultimates to work with here, and I am just loving seeing Will back on this Echo. That is one of his best heroes from all the way back at the Will English Invitational. He really shined on this hero. One of the best flex DPS in that entire tournament. Probably one of the best flex DPS we currently have in EMEA Open Division just because of his prevalence on Echo.
Oh, the pulse bomb to start off the fight. Adfred having changed up their composition completely now. Still not wanting to take a head-on-head fight, but getting enough flanking, enough burst damage that they can take out people here. Luciano just being denied that last little click onto Roblox Lover. Still Reality having now regrouped, looking to make an offensive push. They've got 4, nearly 5 ultimates online. Adfriend with not that much in the bank, but a key Transcendence could turn the fight. Oh, a pick to start us off, though. That's going to be huge.
That is a massive pick. Sigma, not the member of your team you want to lose here. Will able to copy onto FIFO. Lands the hook as well. That is no longer your Roadhog, says Will. He does get taken out of the copy here, but found the value he needed. Still, though, it is Team Reality struggling to get a foot back into this fight. It's going to take the Transcendence here. Roblox Lover tries to get them some ground and buy them back into this objective. 2 minutes to go now. And in our final 2 minutes, what will it be? Team Reality has the only ultimate on the board, but Jix on the other side for Adfriend could make a hero play with a pulse bomb.
Gonna be about delaying it until Padre can get that rally. That rally could start everything off. So Jix with an early pick, helped out by Luciano, takes out Will. That key pick of potential that Echo provided to Adfriend. Now Team Reality kind of still sticking around, knows that they want to get past just one more team fight. They don't want to give it up for too long. Padre nearly up to that rally, which could set the battle cries sounding here. Jix still holding on to that pulse bomb for a long time, kind of penning now in the corner. Adam's got the ultimate, but he's so low on health, he's not going to get it off. Double kill comes out there. Team Reality taking some casualties of their own at the hands of Luciano fan. It seems like with the mines drop, this could be Team Reality. Really? Do you want to push it at this stage? No spawn advantage. Luciano fan does go down with the help of effort. And eventually, Ragonberry just wanting to push this all the way, just saying we don't need to drop too much right now to take this, but gonna take more than that, friend.
Wow, Team Reality choosing to fully invest here, and they've got 4 members back. They're just going to make this a stagger fight. Of course, the spawns favoring Adfriend here. A good hook from FIFO lands there, desuiting Ludwig, but both tanks trade out here. Luciano fan comes up to spawn, finds 2 eliminations. Oh man, Luciano fan making a stand here. The Cole Cassidy for Adfriend makes this one parked at a meter to go.
Yep. That's why I said you had to get the team fight right from the beginning. Adfriend, you had to close it out before Adfriend got that rally online, because once the rally was online, you started to build everything else up. Adam had his Gravitic Flux online, which he used close to the beginning of the last fight. Jinx is nearly up to a second pulse bomb. Jock had time to build up that Transcendence. FIFO still has that offsetting flak gun that he can drop, and it's going to take a big bomb to start it off from Team Reality. They've got their own support ultimates online as well. The rally already being dropped, and it's a charge forward in overtime. 1 minute left here. Luciano fam going to take out the first pick here. Effort still managing from beyond the grave to get a kill with that pulse bomb. Transcendence comes out. Jix has a pulse bomb of their own, and battle of the tanks trading back and forth. Slugfest. Of course, Adfriend does have the advantage of the spawns, and I've got to close it out at the end. Woo!
You love to see it from Adfriend. Just a meter to go, but Adfriend has themselves a win condition here. By completing Rialto, Adfriend would be on series point, and in this winner's bracket, you're trying to get there as quick as possible. Right now, these two teams are looking very neck and neck. Team Reality really started to click on the latter half of that round there, but Adfriend able to answer in just the nick of time.
You know, the entire dynamic shifted from the beginning of the map to the end of the map. The beginning was all about Adfriend controlling the long sight lines, getting the positioning to get their DPS into pick potential. You know, that was the entire game plan. As soon as the Team Reality started to charge forward a little bit, take their own space, get the wrecking ball into the face of these very long-range characters, they just bought themselves all the space to continuously move that payload. They never really got stalled out for too long, all the way up until that final fight, and then just maybe investing for too long, not retreating and regrouping once they had baited out the ults, or cleanly engaging to take out someone like Padre at the beginning. Could have made the difference, and now they've still got a really good distance that they've managed to push, but that extra 1 point on the board could have made such a difference right now.
Yeah, that is what sets up the win condition for Adfriend. Of course, it looks way better for Team Reality than not completing the first objective, which it looked like that was a possibility. It took a big play from Roblox Lover, from Barry, to actually get that objective. It was not easy.
Oh man, the fact that it was a flanking Zenyatta that actually made such a
I
difference to their
love it.
result in the first part. I even forgot about that at the second. There was so much action at the end to determine whether they closed it out, but still, Ad Friend looking to take a bit of a pick potential. FIFO still sticking on this Roadhog for so long. Team Reality now taking some distance of their own, combining the double shield there to try and deny any of these long sight lines, and that Echo Mercy combo here from Ad Friend could prove devastating to these fighters in the backline. Seems like it is so far already. Ad Friend's pick-off potential coming out clutch, but a different lineup than we're used to seeing from both these teams.
Yeah, it looked like their pick-off potential just ended up taking a player right out of the lobby. They were picked off so hard. But yeah, I mean, I do like how they played this first point with the sniper, especially how Luciano Fan was taking that very wide left side rotation, kind of hiding the threat of the Widowmaker for as long as possible, maybe opening up Team Reality to make some sort of mistake. Now, coming back from the reconnect, they could have some tough time, getting that player back into the fight, getting them adjusted to where the fight is currently at. I'm pretty sure they might be standing exactly where they were on this update. It used to be you're sent all the way back to spawn, so that's a little bit better, but still, I think Ad Friend, they've got the scouting report on this fight. It could be a fast first point, but Team Reality, like you were saying, last round, they really clicked on that second objective. I'm hoping they're able to do it here on defense and really put a speed bump into Ad Friend's attack.
Yeah, right now Ad Friend has all the momentum. They've got control of the point. They've got the early picks in the fights. The entire disconnect kind of shakes everyone. And so maybe Team Reality wants to just fight it out, die on the payload, and try and reinforce the bridge on the second point or something like that. That archway, that bridge is such an important bit of cover. You get the advantage of the big high building, and you make your opponents try and walk forward under no cover at all kind of thing. So Ad Friend maybe wants to try and shut it out at that stage or win this team fight. Think about that going forwards. If we know Team Reality, though, they don't like losing fights quickly. They like fighting it out for as long as possible.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they're on their heroes to do it right now. They've got 2 DPS and an Echo and a Tracer that can just stall this objective for as long as possible. And what that stall does for both of these teams, we saw it on the Paul where it was Ad Friend in round 3, where they got back into the mix. We've seen it in Team Reality where they go on a crazy flanking play with Zenyatta, and both of these teams never give up in a fight. They've always got something in mind to get back into it with a very low amount of resources, and that just makes for exciting Overwatch to watch.
It's the best thing about Open Division, I must admit. The metas are so fluid. The changes, the ability to adapt to situations is shown by all the teams. They've got obvious heroes that they love to play and make them work in ways that their opponents aren't expecting, into compositions that theoretically should win in some of the duels. But both teams showing at this stage that they're ready to fight. Everyone's being able to get off very critical ultimates. The consistency and the hooks, the echo play that we've seen from both sides right now, the tracer play, support, staying alive for a long amount of time considering the amount of pressure on top of them. And we now jump back into the action. And of course, Ad Friend, having taken the early lead in this fight, looking to clean it out, get that pressure straight away. And Team Reality now needs to bolster their defenses.
Yeah, Ad Friend take the advantage there, and they take Team Reality's lunch money. Sorry you got disconnected, but this is Open Division. We're not going to be holding punches against you. Jakes and Luciano Fan just took all that open space and popped off. Now they're already nearing the first objective.
This might be what Team Reality... Okay, that was brutal to watch from a first-person perspective right there. The fact that Luciano just waiting around that corner, Effort had no chance, and that's got to be the first objective, right? Nope, Team Reality still forcing around here. Raging Berry giving his life on the point and feeding lots of ult charge. This is where I said Team Reality may want to step it back and now just reinforce the bridge. Ad Friend may have taken that for free with all their ultimates online from now on.
Yeah, and since Team Reality didn't choose to just concede that point, now Ad Friend get to hop way up in this streets phase and make sure that Team Reality can't get into this hotel as easily, because once they get there, once they get on that backside staircase, it is one of the best fortresses in all of Overwatch defense. Ad Friend really trying to push their advantage here and deny that space on this corner if they're able to, but Team Reality setting up on the staircase, they might actually make a stand here, but they don't have the ults to work with.
And again, an off-structured engagement there means that Raging Berry going to be out for this time. Again, Ad Friend just controlling this high ground. It is such a pivotal part of this second phase. Oh, FIFO looking to actually hook the Tracer out of the blink attempt, but just got baited out. There was no blink attempt, and it's going to be up to Team Reality to now try to push forward. Going to be popping the Transcendence in the middle of the Gravitic Flux to start this off. Adam still holding the high ground, and it's going to be the aggressive Zenyatta one more time. Roblox Lover, in fact, pushing past and taking the high ground.
Oh my.
Man fighting up against Adam and coming out the victor. Coming out again, this time against the sniper. Luciano fan just gets schooled apparently by the very, very aggressive. And somehow Roblox Lover already up to 40% on the next ult, reinforced by the whole of Team Reality coming in behind it. And Adfriend drop a step.
That was so fun. Roblox might be the most fearless player in the open division right now, making so many great plays on Zen, the glass cannon of all heroes, and that actually puts Team Reality in a very good spot to continue this defense. They're going to have the minefield, a pulse bomb, and Will is on the doorstep of EMP.
I mean, this is huge. Adfriend had all of their ultimates online. They spent 4 of them. I think FIFO was actually dropped his near the beginning of the fight, so maybe 5 of them. Jark, the only one left over, and now FIFO gonna get chewed down. The beautiful hack prioritization by Will to start this off. Team Reality may not even need to drop their ultimates at this stage as they poke and prod and deal with threats as they arise.
Coming in now, Team Reality still sitting on all their ultimates, and this is what I'm talking about with this part of the map. That staircase is such a fortress. There's so much natural cover you have to move around just to get this angle to mount an attack, and it's not always easy, especially when Team Reality is just sitting on their ultimates. They're not giving anything away in the engagement. They're making Adfriend fully commit to an uncomfortable position before they start to invest. Now we have Adam up on the high ground, in a little bit of a tank duel here, but doesn't quite have the barrier resources to push around the corner. And it's going to take some massive play, maybe a hook, maybe some sort of insane skill shot. But Adfriend, they're still just waiting on those ultimates for now. And there's the EMP. Will pops it. That's the green light. Team Reality head into the hotel. Jinx and Padre fall. Can they find more? They get Jark as well. A clean team fight for Reality.
Again, Roblox Lover sitting in the middle is going to die this time and have the Transcendence on hand, and so that's not great for Team Reality, but the team fighting consistently as one detrimental unit, one destructive unit, led by Raging Berry in these fights, and Will starting the fight off with that EMP means that Team Reality still have 3 more ultimates for this next fight. They may need them still. Adfriend, having given up such an advantageous position, have to do all the work from scratch again. Oh no, the hack comes out straight away to start this. This might be FIFO going down. It is.
Oh, they tried to save him with the trance too, but Jark just a little bit too late to save FIFO, and he is the final boss. And anytime you take out the final boss early in a game, well, you're doing pretty well in that game. Team Reality are looking so good on this defense. We thought first point was going to be quick for Adfriend, but it is the speed bump on the streets phase that Reality has set up, and they are playing some beautiful Overwatch right now.
This is clinical. Adfriend looking like they're scrambling right now, and we've seen some cohesive plays from Adfriend. They're a good team. Right now, though, Team Reality just understanding the win condition in each of these fights. They start with something like a good hack. Now Will looking again to take out FIFO. Just got to poke and prod, control the area with whatever abilities that they need to. They don't need to be shooting bullets all the time to have complete dominance right now over this position.
No, they certainly don't. They are letting Adfriend play into them. Right now, it is just Team Reality in the driver's seat. Padre, though, trying to change that here with the rally to support Adfriend as they get into this engagement. But Team Reality, they're coming with the damage here on second point. It is just turning the tables away that we haven't seen much. Now Ludwig comes up with the Gravitic Flux, only propping up the Deadeye. Luciano fan counters it beautifully. The 3K is found. The Cole Cassidy clutch is here.
That is huge. The fact that Ludwig went with that, had the initiation. Now it's going to be up to Elba to use this rally to try and reinforce for Team Reality. Adfriend rushing forward, have got the payload to the point and have bought themselves another minute and a half. But where Reality thought that Adfriend had wasted everything, Adfriend drops the rally, walks outside, tries to take the fight, and the beautiful minefields to just mitigate that gave Team Reality just some false confidence to go into that, and ends up enabling the Cassidy Deadeye.
Yeah, they were ready to go with the knockout punch there with the Gravitic Flux, but Luciano fan had another plan in store for him. That was a textbook alt counter right there, finding the 3K at such a clutch moment here. Team Reality, They are threatening to even this series now. And AdFriend, they were looking to be on match point, but who is it going to be here as we near our final 35 seconds?
Man, Reality doing such a good job at the end there to stall it out. Now have to push this payload right to the end. Jock sitting with the Transcendence can help AdFriend out at any stage. You may need to drop it too late to save Adam. Is going to keep the rest of the team alive, and Reality pushing back with the Transcendence of their own means neither team going to take casualties. FIFO dropping low, and AdFriend now maybe without all the resources they would want. Adam going to reinforce now with the Wrecking Ball. AdFriend knows that they have 10 seconds left on the clock. Luciano Fan has another ultimate up, needs to try clear something out. Nothing really from the side of Team Reality. Ludwig the closest, and maybe has trauma about dropping his ultimate again if he gets it.
Man, the halt comes in. This is why they're called heroes. Who's got to make the play? Luciano Fan pretty far away with this Deadeye. Doesn't find the elims, but zones out Team Reality. It is Ludwig with the first kill here onto Adam.
Oh, yes.
But the flash, the paparazzi is here, and Will does not take kindly to it. It is now evened up 5 versus 5. All but here in the backline, trying to do damage from the support slot, and it will be Ludwig with the slam, but it's gonna be the post bomb. Jinx, the clutch player for AdFriend, and they have their win condition, and they will be on series point.
Oh, that was huge. Luciano Fan just used the Deadeye to kind of clear the walkway, let everyone push forward, and then Padre popping that rally at the end there meant the Gravitic Flux holds everyone in the end. They go, we'll just sit here. We're just going to sit at max health and armor. Gets slammed down, gets healed back up by the rally. It lasts so long, and it gives the space to our wonderful Tracer, and I'm surprised that this isn't player of the game. Happens at the exact same time, or Luciano Fan. Beautiful accuracy consistently, no matter what hero he picks up, being able to work wonders. And between him and Jix on that DPS duo, what a fantastic way for AdFriend to take a 2-0 lead in the series.
Yeah, and they are going to be on that series point again, trying to stay on their run in the winners bracket in the EMEA division here. And what a show these teams are putting on. We thought we had a good one on our hands, and it has not disappointed. The clutch plays have been in every single point so far, and I expect them to keep going. But Altruism, we're going to be going over to a short break before we end up on match 3, so chat, stick around.
You don't need an invitation. I already know what you're saying. I love a little conversations, and I don't want you to go changing, 'cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feels so good just when crazy what you do to me. Girl, you the best and you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold night. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're just so. Girl, I love a situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest and you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold night. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're just so. We ain't gotta slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it out. You're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're comfortable. It just feels so good just when you roll through. I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest and you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold air. I don't know what you do. Yeah. Let me get you on a cold air.
And we are back. Map 3 about to be underway here. AdFriend has found themselves on map, or match point, I should say, after a very clutch Rialto around Altruism. Thoughts on that last map, because it was a banger.
I have too many thoughts at this stage. The amount of chaos. If we had to spend time breaking down each of the individual moments in that series, it would be maddening because it was back and forth all the way. Whether it was Nepal, the control point that we started off with, or now Rialto, every single time that it seemed like a team had a really good position. They had the ult advantage. They had, I mean, the fact that someone like AdFriend held that middle, that hotel so early into the second point, and they held it so confidently, and then they just died to a charging Zenyatta. When he came out of it, that was Jock, I think, yeah, that came forward. No, sorry, Roblox lover, obviously. He just came forward at the end of his trance. He was just like, right, I am going to be in your face right now. And Adam was like, how do I fight Zenyatta versus Sigma? I've never had to do this toe to toe.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a diamond support player, masters tank player, and I feel like a lot of our spectators are pretty high ranked players, but you see that transcendence popped, and I think everyone's initial reaction is, what on God's earth are you doing right now? And it paid off so well for them. And then on point number two, Team Reality stood on such a good defense, and then it looked like they had it in the bag with a gravitic flux from Ludwig, and then Luciano fan comes up with probably the play of the match so far, that Deadeye that ended up getting them that second point,
Oh,
and Adfriend were able to finish the map. That Rialto round was just chuck full of clutch plays. It was really something.
I look forward to seeing more now, because if there was ever a site that people needed to prove themselves on, if there was ever a place where people knew it, had practiced weird stuff, and are ready to bring it onto a big stage, it can be none other than Kings Row. We're going to be heading there, and I got to ask you, Charge, what do you think about this? Are we going to see some... Are we going to see a Ryan Zarya mirror matchup, or are we going to be prepared for something completely left field?
Well, because I would love for it to be 2019 again, I'm hoping for Ryan Zarya, but I don't think that's the way Overwatch is played these days. I'm actually expecting something a little crazier. I would not be surprised for Kings Row to be one of the very few maps where we could see a Junkrat on the first point, but what I am fully
Okay.
expecting is an Orisa and a Hanzo. I think that is the look, especially for AdFriend, to really shine as a team.
Okay, I can appreciate that. I mean, we have seen a lot of different heroes coming out for all the different roles now. Hanzo obviously been very picked and very, very efficacious for the teams who picked him up. Jinx comes to mind with the ability to nearly hold the entire first point of Rialto on his own. But then you've got the Roadhog, could obviously come out and works very well with the Orisa, you know, for both attack and defense for both these sides. Someone like the Cassidy, the Echo, the Tracer even, very, very well known here. But okay, well, we got the Hanzo. We got one of them. Well, how do you feel about a Monkey, Diva, and May combo?
I would love to say this composition is not what they're going to come out of Spawn with, but Team Reality is full of ideas that I'm not quite sure of. You throw up a Maywall, you have effort with a stun there with the flashbang. This is a composition that could pounce on one elimination very fast, but Adfriend, you know you got to find more than one, and they do end up going full brawl here. May, Cole Cassidy, the Rhine, the Lucio. It is just Kings Row to a T here. Adfriend, though, they're bringing some extra to this defense.
There we go. This is Kings Row as we know and love it. I got baited in there by the Winston. Taking control of the hotel straight away is Team Reality, getting their resources together, looking to make a push out now. Waiting to see where Adfriend sets up. It is going to be Adam on the low ground now. Has to man fight against the entirety of Team Reality that's pushing forward. It's the immortality field, everything thrown to try and keep him alive, but not enough time for the rest of Adfriend to do damage. FIFO going to be able to pick up one, but the rest of it is just red names on the scoreboard picking up kills.
Yeah, Adfriend, though, they're going to continue to play these high grounds and try and find a pick around it. If they get another one here, it is a green light to go in. And with Alba going down, of course, 2 ticks have been taken. Reality's attack is not a failure, but Adfriend could come back in and swoop this away, and Team Reality had to step off. They have to go to high ground.
Man, that was so close as well. Will nearly falling as he tries to reinforce the team. And like you say, Team Reality realized they've got some homework to do. They've got 2 ticks already and could look to drop down right now, still content to just chase around this high ground. FIFO going to get the pick up on the May. That's going to be a massive amount of damage, or at least control really mitigated. And Reality kind of has to just hide in this corner now, being peppered from every different direction. And with Bob online, this could be a sign for Luciano to try and take them out of any position or reinforce the low ground. I guess as long as Reality's up there, they're not getting any point progress.
No, and these are 2 snipers on Adfriend that can get back up to the high ground very fast. Bob able to stall this objective. They don't need a tank on there just yet, but Team Reality threatening to take again. Adfriend doing a good job contesting here, taking down Will, as well as Ludwig's mech. And it seems like they just have so many angles on these high grounds. The Bat Matrix from way back here, coupled with Jix just lacing in the arrows. Team Reality, they've gotten 2 ticks taken, but this 3rd and final tick could be just a menace for them.
Man, just ever since that stall out, since the decision was made to go to the high ground, it just has been all the team of Adfriend being able to control this game. I don't know at that stage. I'm certainly not a high enough level player to know exactly where in the rotation it went wrong, but Since the time they walked up that stairs, they got nothing.
Yeah, they really did get nothing. They had to go up to high ground to try and flush out AdFriend, but AdFriend has that composition where they can just pop right back up there. Now we're seeing some ultimates invested here as effort falls. The Transcendence popped as well by Jark, and that's going to keep AdFriend fully supported through this next fight. And we are going to be down to our final minute on our opening objective of King's Row.
Man, that was huge. Reality fully engaged there. They dropped in Will Gorov, a massive ultimate, I must admit. That Blizzard was fantastic. But Jark, yet again, coming through on the Zenyatta, pops the Transcendence, goes and stands in the middle of it and goes, all right, so they're not moving, but you're not killing them for a while. And AdFriend still hold control here. Have a couple of ultimates online. The big one, of course, going to be Bob to be able to contest the point for as long as they need to. And Reality sets up for their last push, effectively.
Coming down to the wire here with 30 seconds to go. They pop the sound barrier, get halted through their rotation, and it's not able to be easily made. We do have FIFO here just being the final boss on this staircase, denying Team Reality. Tries to land that hook there, but doesn't quite fly. Now into our final 15 seconds. What is the play here for Team Reality? They are just clinging to such short straws here. And now in our final 10, it's time to make the effort.
Okay, Effort got to start it off there. Manages to take out Jark at the same time. FIFO managed to get the hook out down onto the low ground. Here comes a big Earth Shatter trying to hold this. But Rage and Berry manages to set everything up for the team. Now stands strong with holding that shield on the point. And a single play takes apart and gives Team Reality life here after AdFriend looked to clean it up early.
And such a big play there from Effort, coming out of that main choke way later than the rest of Team Reality, able to win the duel onto Luciano Fan right at the gate, and then hits that very hard skill shot, the headshot right onto Jix, up in the crow's nest. That takes down both those snipers that are so threatening for that first point defense, pieced it apart, and Team Reality, they're able to throw some time back up on the clock and enter the streets phase here.
Yeah, you know, there's two ways. We're gonna take out Jix, and that's exactly what I'm saying. There's two ways to deal with a sniper. Either you got to get on top of them with something like a Winston, Diva, Wrecking Ball, or you need to just out-snipe them. You just need to be able to take them out at the range, and then you can sit and not have to worry about these guys peppering distance. Still, AdFriend prioritizing taking position around the point, choosing where they want to engage, poking and prodding. And at this stage, it's just the Diva holding this progress to the point, while AdFriend gives him some space.
And some space is what they're going to have to give up here as Reality starts to push in with a little bit more effort. It will be FIFO taking the first kill here. Effort, though, throws in that Dragon Strike, but it's not going to find what it's looking for. Instead, AdFriend able to come away with 3 very fast kills, and that'll send Team Reality packing.
It's like swiping at smoke at this stage for Team Reality. AdFriend just so elusive, and now they're going to even be mean enough to keep the baby Diva alive. Bounces her way, literally bunny hopping towards it. Oh, that final shot? No, not going to be there. Not going to get the credit for the last little bit of the kill. But AdFriend just taking the fights where they want to, getting the picks, buying themselves the time, and are pretty comfortable, I think, with this. But have a long, one more fight to defend this payload?
Yeah, I mean, these teams love those stall fights too, so, you know, it could be a second very long fight if they come in with 3 members, but this could be the final effort. They've got only a Blizzard to burn here. Roblox coming online with that Ant Matrix, but I don't know. It's going to be very tough with these ultimates. FIFO has the whole hog as well to just knock him back a little bit, and Bob gets thrown in here. The Blizzard makes the point of Frozen Tundra for Will, but unfortunately, no one on AdFriend besides Robert is locked in that. FIFO ends up landing the hook headshot onto Effort, and he's coming in the back line. The wood chipper is out. Team Reality blown away, and there will be no contest as the whole hog knocks them back.
That was huge. So first and foremost, the Blizzard's supposed to be like, we get full control of this point, and denied instantly with just a Bob going, we don't need to actually stand next to the payload. Calm your Blizzard down. Then FIFO coming in the back line, first gets a hook onto the Hanzo, and then decides to go whole hog, goes through all the shields, pushes everyone 10 meters forwards, and while they're so busy just trying to survive, surrounded by the rest of the AdFriend team, it ends up just being them not getting back to the payload at any stage, and they don't even C9 it. They were just kind of pushed off it right now.
Yeah, and I think that nickname sticks. Final Boss FIFO coming in the back line and just ruining your attack if you're
Oh,
Team Reality. That whole hog blasted them all the way to third point, and they needed to be on the payload on second. I mean, this team just comes at you with defensive punches that you can't expect for. Like, you are
yeah.
not scrimming up against a team that is running a Roadhog exclusively every point of every map. So, Team Reality, they've had a wrench thrown at them. Their win condition is very short here on Kings Row, and Adfriend could end this one here.
Yeah, this is Ad Friends the best shining hope they could have wanted to just clean it out in 3, halfway through Streets phase or just past half, I guess. And they always look to be in control. And I feel like Team Reality is really showing a lot of initiative. They're trying to adapt their game styles. They're trying to go, okay, we can't just stand on the point. We need to chase them down. We need to get to the high ground. You know, we're gonna fight in these positions. And Ad Friend is just chaos. It's like trying to fight a toddler who's just running around screaming.
Chaos
and
is the
managing
word.
to do so much damage while you're busy trying to catch vases. It's amazing to see the amount of chaos that Adfriend can wreak.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, FIFO almost lands a beautiful hook there as Will was just kind of transitioning to that second high ground. Team Reality doing a similar defensive thing that Adfriend did, just trying to own these high grounds and find picks while objective is being taken down below. But now 2 ticks has been taken and Roblox has fallen. The third and final tick could be very short-lived. Team Reality has to make a play soon.
This is fantastic. Eventually, they're going to throw someone down by the time the Sigma lands. He's dead, though. It was just a case of Team Reality held the high ground and went, right, we're going to kill you before you come in. And then Adfriend moved in 100 different directions with 6 people. Yeah, the maths works out on that one. And eventually, where do you look? Do you look at the 2 tanks that are standing on the point that are going to take a long time to kill and you need to expose yourself a lot to be able to fire down at them? Or do you now start focusing on the Ash, on the Hanzo, or even Padre on the Baptiste, who are putting in damage to anyone who pokes their head out? You know, are you fighting the off-angle fights, or are you fighting on the point? And eventually, Team Reality just never fought on the point.
No, they never did, and they had to. Right now, Will's going on a little bit of a sneaky play, trying to take down the presence on the objective, but it looks like Padre standing strong here, not very wavering by the dive of 2 members of Team Reality. Team Reality able to get the opening elimination here as Roblox Lover, who has been so good for them, able to knock down one, but quickly gets taken down by FIFO, and Jix picks up the second elimination as well. Adfriend has the advantage rounding the bookstore corner, and they would love to get toward this final phase of second point.
FIFO.
Oh, spots out the Somber. Did you see that?
Yeah, he had some sort of hack through the wall there. I saw it on my screen at least. That's probably just observer thing, but that would have been some... If he had no sight on that... In fact, there's no way he had sight on that, right?
No, the Somber was
pick that
invis and he
spot.
alt-fired.
I mean, he tried to hook, just missed the hook, and then alt-fired, knowing the Sombra was coming around the corner. What a heads-up play coming out there from FIFO. And we see Team Reality with their last attempt to try and hold this point. They're going straight into the supercharger, giving every one of these picks the Dragon Strike. Jix again coming through with ridiculous level of big potential. Gonna pick up the 5 kill, and it's gonna be Jock to deny the 6 play. Adfriend picks it up in 3 and clinches their spot in the round number 4 winners bracket.
And you could not have said it any better when you said this team comes at you with chaos. I mean, look at this play of the game. Jix was everywhere here, but really just a Roadhog all game long. Hanzo picking off heads, throwing in Dragon Strikes like this, and then, of course, look at that shot onto the Somber, and then comes in with the Storm Arrow to sit down Alba. What a beautiful game from Adfriend. They lost the opening point here on Nepal. It looked like this one was going to be much more even than it was, and as far as the 3-0 goes, I would say Nepal and Rialto felt incredibly close, but there, Kings Row Adfriend just showed up and showed out.
That's the weird thing is, you know, when Team Reality came and won a fight, they won it pretty decisively. They came in with a really good game plan, executed it, and that seemed to be the name of the game, was game plan was paramount. Whether we're talking about how they approached the first part of Nepal, coming out with the very obvious May and Symmetra, get onto the point and hold, reinforce that position. every moment seemed to be a calculated risk or just a really good, solid gameplay. I don't know about the flankings in Yard, or at least the charge forwards in Yard. I don't know if that was written down somewhere, but everything
No, that
else
was
seemed
not in
like
the notes.
that was not in the notes. That was a bit of adaptation. Sometimes that's what was required because eventually, I don't think you could ever write down a solid game plan against AdFriend with the way that they brought their style to this match. And it's a team of very talented individuals that makes up AdFriend that could really cause some waves in the rest of this open division.
Yeah, and style, again, the perfect word to suit this team. They're coming at it with their own kind of flair on Overwatch. They know that everyone was playing the beta, they adapted to a different game, but this is where it matters. You got to make two tanks work for you, and they made it work with a Roadhog, which, again, no team is probably ready for in their scrims. I guarantee scrim partners are not going to be running Orisa Roadhog all scrim long. They want to work on their own things, their own strengths. So, AdFriend, they're coming at you with something you can't prepare for, and it has showed off for them 3 games in a row now, 3 games in a row in the winners bracket, as they are still flawless in open division.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting to see how this pick-off potential style that they run matches up against other teams with really, really good players. You know, when you can't poke your own head out for fear of getting hit, can you outsnipe everyone in the open division is a question that AdFriend are eventually going to have to deal with it. Of course, in history, they've gotten very far into the competition, so I'm excited to see those matchups coming on. Lots of big names left in this open division. It's going to be interesting to see if Meta will win out again or if you can play the chaos and get away with it every single time. If you guys are interested in that, you're going to have to stick around for a little bit more action. We, after this quick little break, going to drop down to the low bracket and see what's waiting for us there. I hope you don't go anywhere. Still lots of Overwatch action to come. Myself, Ultrazim and Alt Charge, ready to bring you even more chaos, even more excitement, and even more big plays right after this.
covered white. Life is boring, reassuring. The day I met you, there's nothing I want more than to be right there by your side. In the moonlight, crystal skylines. Cross my heart, I'll be there till the end. Right there with you, even though you'll never notice me. 'Cause I'm just a street girl, crossing worlds and the galaxies. Just to see you, I'll risk my life knowing that maybe I won't reach your heart. But I can't resist. When I come around, little do I know about you now. I'm pretty sure that you're the one. Go around the night and have some fun. Just about the way you make me feel. Everything about you can be real. I'll do anything to have you here, but I'm pretty sure we'll never be. The fact is clear, we're worlds apart. I don't want this, please. Ugh, damn it. Just a space girl, crossing worlds and the galaxies. Just to see you, I'll risk my life knowing that maybe I won't reach your heart. But I can't resist. Every now and then I come around, little do I know about you now. I'm pretty sure that you're the one. Go around the night and have some fun. Just about the way you make me feel. Everything about you can be real. I'll do anything to make you mine. But this is goodbye. One more time. Ready? Every now and then I come around. I'm pretty sure that you're the one. Just about the way you make me feel. I'll do anything to have you here, my dear. Don't be scared, 'cause